Hey guys, Kakarot197 again, this time with a review of the 1/6 scale Rokusho / head scissors from the Metabots / Metarot series. Oh yeah, the name, they're not quite sure which one it is. More detail about that at the end of this review. So, Rokusho. For colors, we get a very light gray for most of the body, get a dark blue for the detailing, you get a translucent blue piece here for his head scanner. And then, this here is actually painted on. Well, it's painted over the blue, so you do have a little nub mark that's somewhat visible. Actually kind of stupid when you think that they could have just done it underneath here and it wouldn't have shown. So that's a bit stupid. But yeah. Other colors you get are yellow for his weapons here, and then yeah, you've got the visors. So now onto one of the main features of this kit is it kind of works like a Metabot. Because you have different visors, this one here is his deactivated face, and in Metabot fashion you have a little openable section where you put the metal in. A tiny little metal here. Unfortunately, you don't get a sticker for it. It would have been cool if it was an actual yellow metal, especially considering that there are yellow parts in it. So you slide it in there, slide down thingy there to keep it in place, and you close it up. I do want to warn you, when you put this in, be very careful because those pegs are very small. And oops, there goes his leg. And now that he's activated, well, let's quickly replace the face, because of course he is activated. Come on. Come on. So, that's a little bit of a problem. It's very hard to remove the eyes. And just look at those eyes. I haven't painted, well, I haven't done them with a gunner marker, so they're not quite as visible, but those eyes are pretty frightening. So, once again, I suggest having a little bit of paper in there to cover it up and actually make it more anime accurate. And then you get various faces to choose from. A normal face, oops, a normal face, there we go. You get his angry face, and you get a surprised face. So now that Rokusho is activated, let's get on with the articulation. And head is on a double joint, up like that, then a bit more backwards, forwards all the way like that. We'll wiggle, rotate, or it's on a double ball joint, so we'll do a lot. Rotates all the way. His ear thingies are on ball joints, so they will rotate and pop out, and do everything a ball joint does. His shoulders here are also on ball joints, so they'll wiggle around, rotate, and once again, all the things a ball joint does. His little shoulder pikes here also move a little bit up and down, though I'm not sure if they're supposed to do that, so it might just be a little bit of a manufacturing problem. Then his arm itself only moves up and down and is directly connected to his shoulder, so it's the shoulder that actually does all the moving. Then you've got kind of a double elbow joint, but this is all you're going to get. After this, it's going to pop out. So you have a ball joint here, and then this here is another ball joint, and so it will turn around at the ball joint, and his lower arm can also independently rotate around. Then his hand is on a ball joint. Well, the hand itself is on a peg, but the peg connects to a ball joint that's in here. So we'll rotate and wiggle a little bit. Then his waist, some very nice articulation here, it goes all the way back like that. and all the way forwards like that. Very nice. And one of the few joints of this kit that doesn't like to pop out. And his legs. And now we get into a bit more trouble because these side skirts are horrible. Move them out. The legs go out about that far. Any further and they will pop out. Then legs go forward. If you're very good, that's the leg. So the leg, that's the other leg. Great. So let's try that again. The leg goes forwards about that far, and now the side skirt comes off. So it's very hard to move the side skirts, to move the legs without having anything pop out. So the knee is on a double joint, but this is all you're going to get. Then his feet, once again on a ball joint, goes forwards, backwards like that, and side to side, and we'll rotate a little bit. Then there's an extra toe joint. Whoops. This goes up, bit down, side to side. Whoops. Come on. Side to side, and we'll also rotate a little bit like that. And now I'm going to reassemble him. Or maybe not, because this is a good way to show you how these side skirts work. So it's on a little ball joint here, which is on a little hinge. Goes forwards and backwards, and then we'll also wiggle and inevitably pop off. On to accessories, and I've already shown you the different faces he comes with. So he also comes with a few different hands. Said they're on a peg, the ball joint is in here. You get a set of open hands, and you also get a set of closed fist hands. There we go. Other accessories include different ear pods. This is the same one as the ones that are in there, but it's at a slight angle. So it looks a bit more dynamic. If you want to have them like a dashing pose, it looks like kind of like the wind just went through it. And then you get, these are a bit different, they're a bit longer, and they also have like grooves on here. So maybe that's how they want to differentiate between Rokusho and head scissors? I don't know. But you get a pair of these, and then once again the same one, well, like this one here, same thing but at a different angle to make it look more dynamic. And finally, well, for himself we get the good accessories, the ones you really want. So first you press this little button here and it falls out, but then you can put these in, the extended claws. And you pop them in there, now they're closed, and now they're open. It's not as impressive as the shooting action of Metabee, but hey, it's cool, it's nice, it works. Though putting them back can be a little bit of a problem. Now they work for the first time, but that's not always, believe me. And you also have a similar feature on his hammer fist. Again, push the button and off they go. Simply push them back in there and it's reloaded. Once again, unfortunately not as impressive as the shooting action of Metabee, but yeah, Rokusho isn't exactly a shooting Metabot now, is he? Finally, he also comes with this connector part for a stand. I assume this is meant for one of Kotobukiya's stands, but coincidentally it also works with Bandai's action bases, which is actually a surprise. And you flip them around, you try to move the legs out, and then you peg it in there. Oh, like So, come on. Come on. This doesn't really want to work now, does it? There we go. Hey, it like stayed on. That's a first. The final accessory you get is this little stand here in the form of an actual Medabots medal, real size by the way. And what you use it for is you get this little sheet here of quotes, and for such a calm Medabot, these look quite aggressive, so I assume that most of these were taken from the episode where Rokusho was trying to kill Dr. Aki. You also get this empty one so that you can write whatever quote on it you want. And finally you also get a Raider dish. Medabi got a target and Rokusho got a Raider dish. Not really all that great, and actually doesn't really serve any purpose other than to illustrate what Rokusho's head does, but this isn't really all that impressive, to be honest. And, oh yeah, you also get a few spare parts. You get these two thingies here for his side skirts, and then you also get a little clip to hold in his medal. As always, the inevitable question is, do you want to buy this? Well, unless you're a big fan of Medabots, for 3,200 yen, you might just want to reconsider this. Here he is, compared to a 144th scale high grade from the Gundam series. This guy is 1,300 yen. That's a lot cheaper. And in terms of articulation, he wins. In terms of stability, he wins. Height, well, he's a tiny bit bigger he's bigger if you include the ears. If you just go for head height, they're about the same. Accessories, yeah, Rokusho wins, but the most important things, the gym wins. So you're paying a lot, and what you're getting isn't all that great. Well, the kit itself is nice, but these legs just completely destroy it. These ball joints are really, really bad. So I really wish they would have just fixed the problems with the ball joints, because you do get some very nice accessories with them. But yeah, as it stands, unless you're a Medabot fan, can't really recommend it. But now, say you're not sure which one to buy, Medabi or Rokusho. Well, overall, I would suggest that you go for Medabi, because, well, Rokusho, he has less play value. Medabi has the big advantage of having his little gun thingy here, and you just can't beat that. So if you just want to buy one, definitely go for Medabi. And now for some size comparisons. Here he is next to another 1/6 scale figure, Captain Keroro de arimasu. And now a human-sized 1/6 scale figure, Marin Hawk, and as you can see, it's quite small. So, yeah, like I said, these ball joints are really quite horrible. He even has a hard time standing up. So yeah, they should really, really work on those ball joints. Come on, stand up. Just a bit longer. The review's almost over. Come on, you can do it. So, as you can see, he's quite a bit smaller. And, oh yeah, before we end the review, the thing about his name. So yeah, pretty much Head Scissors is the name of the Medabot from the first game. Rokusho is the Medabot from the second game, and Rokusho therefore is kind of like the upgraded form of Head Scissors. But they look pretty much identical. The color scheme is a bit different, but I'm not quite sure which color scheme this should be. I'm guessing that just like with Metal Beetle, the color scheme doesn't really match either of them. So on to, oh yeah, the model number isn't a good indication either, because both are number 0 in their respective games. It wasn't until later games that it was retconned that Head Scissors was number 0 and that Rokusho was number 1. Another kind of problem is, well, in the second game you can have both of them, and in that case Rokusho, the second one, would be written in katakana, and Head Scissors would also be named Rokusho, but in hiragana. The problem, well, the thing is, once again, it says Rokusho in katakana, so it can be either of them. So I guess in the end you can simply decide which Metabot it is. Do you want Hikaru Agata's Metabot / Henry's Metabot, or do you want Iki Tenryo's Metabot? Well, that's all for this review, and oh yeah, if not quite sure what I meant by that, in the games you can of course choose, well, depending on which game you get, depends on which Metabot Iki starts with, unlike the anime. So that actually means that in the game, Rokusho is just as disobedient as Metabee. And that's quite hard to imagine, considering in the anime Rokusho is like the silent loner, and then in the games he's suddenly like a stubborn Metabot. So that's all for this review, and see you at the next one.